Okay, guys, so a lot of you guys have been asking me for an update on Carter and Renee, and she actually went on Out of the Pods today and told her side of the story. So I'm going to recap it for you, and you're welcome because it was an hour. There's a lot to go over, so I'm going to just read through my Spark Notes. So she says that they got cut because production told her that they didn't want her to relive her awful experience with Carter. But she also said that she was told that they got cut because of a timing issue, that the episodes were supposed to be 12 episodes. They cut it down to 10 episodes and that they didn't have time to fit her story in. She said that she didn't know that she was going to be completely cut out. She was just told that they weren't going to focus on her storyline. So she was really surprised to see that all of her scenes were cut. She says that what initially drew her to Carter was his personality, but she admits that they stayed very surface level in the pods. They didn't get deep, but they shared a lot of laughs and jokes. She said things started to shift in Mexico. She started to see some anger issues with Carter. She said the first incident is when production was pushing for them to do a shower scene and he didn't want to do it. We've seen Lydia and Milton do the shower scene, and we also seen Izzy and Stacy do the shower scene. So apparently Carter didn't want to do it and production was being pushy about it, and he started yelling at production and threatening them. And she said that's the first time she witnessed anger, but he said that he was protecting her because he didn't feel like she should be forced to do the shower scene. She said anger and threatening violence was the first bad thing she noticed about Carter, even though he did not hit anybody or physically harm anybody in her presence. She said that whenever he got upset with production, that they would just end filming, that they would just stop recording and stop filming them. She did say that during the last week of filming that she was scared to be alone with him, and Deep D and Natalie actually asked her if she voiced this to production, and she said that it was half and half, that she told them that she would film scenes with him, but she wouldn't stay in the apartment or be alone with him. She said that she did tell Carter that she was scared to be alone with him, and that he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you would say that. I can't believe that you think that I would actually do anything to hurt you or anything like that. She did say that production wouldn't let her stop filming even though she knew she wasn't going to get married. She also said that Carter hasn't had a job in a long time, and waking up at a reasonable time was really hard for him and causing him a lot of stress. She said that he kept saying I'm so stressed out, I'm so stressed out, and she couldn't understand why, because she's like, we're having fun, we're not going to work, we're just filming and having fun all day. So she said that she thinks that the pressure of just having to fucking wake up was a lot for him. She did say that when he was casted, he didn't have a job, and he was very open about it in the pod. So a lot of girls dropped him after day one after finding out that he didn't have a job. She said he was very forthcoming about not having a job. But she said that they did make a deal that if they got engaged, that once they got back to Houston, he would start looking for a job. And she said a red flag was that when they got back to Houston, he was still partying, he was still drinking, he was still fishing, and wasn't looking for no job. She did say that she made a list of things that she was concerned about that she wrote down. So she had a journal that she went and got and physically read off to Deep D and Natalie. And that list said this. She said that she wrote down that she was concerned that he yelled at somebody at the airport because they asked him to put a mask on. She said that when they got their cell phones back, that his cell phone bill was off because he didn't pay the bill, and he actually asked Milton to pay the phone bill. Milton didn't ultimately end up paying the phone bill, but he did say he would pay it. She said that he checked his bank account on his phone next to her, and his bank account was negative $500. She said that she wrote down that he has no goals and no ambition, no credit cards, and no credit. Izzy 2.0. Okay. She said that he had no money, that the only money was the money he was getting from the show, and that he was so frantic that the money from the show had not come through and kept checking for it, and he never filled out his direct deposit. So Deep D and Natalie did ask, because he had no money, did you have to pay for everything? And she was like, no, I told him that I'm not paying for anything, that anything that we buy, we're going to have to split. She says she does believe that they dined and ditched because they only went on one date, and she says she didn't pay for it. And now that she's thinking back on it, she don't think he paid for it either. She said that as time progressed, the violence and anger got worse. He told her to shut the fuck up and started yelling at her and going off on her. She did say she was drunk and was yelling at him and going off on him too. And she said that the last day they filmed before the wedding, they knew they weren't getting married, and he started telling her about herself. He said that she was trashy, that she was a thought, that no other guys in the pods wanted her, and that she should be lucky that he gave her a chance. She said that he completely berated her and body shamed her and told her, I would never marry you. I would only marry somebody like my mom, and you're nothing like her. Thank God. So they did address the rumor that he brought another girl to the apartment. She says that it is true that Stacy and Izzy actually seen him with the girl and they made the girl leave. Apparently this was all caught on camera. She did say that the day before the wedding, she texted him and let him know, like, hey, I know about the girl that you brought to the apartment. And he basically told her, like, yeah, I have needs and you're not giving me any affection. Okay, so this part is kind of trippy. She said that she does have a GUN that she carries around with her, and production knew that she had this GUN and told her not to have it with her while she's around Carter. So Deep D and Natalie chimed in, basically implying that production knew that he had the ability to be dangerous and did nothing about it. Although Renne does admit that he did not do anything to put her in danger or harm her in any way physically. So they asked what happened at the altar, and she said that they both showed up, and at the altar they first shared the positive things about each other. So they said all the nice things, and then she basically told him that he had to continue his journey on by himself because of all of the manipulation, the lies, and the emotional abuse, and she walked off before he could say anything. She said that her and Carter currently do not speak, and she was super sad about her story being edited out. So she did address the rumors about having a boyfriend during filming. She said that she was single during casting and filming, but people speculated she was dating her current husband because she got married a year later. She actually got married 5 months later, but that's neither here nor there. She did confirm that she's married now and says she met her husband a while ago on a dating app. She said she's known him for a while, that they went on a few dates before filming, but that he wasn't into the relationship and he didn't like animals, which is obviously a huge problem if she's a veterinarian, right? She said later on he slid in her DM and they started hanging out again and got married. So I guess maybe he started liking animals. So she actually did speak on the other couple that was cut from the show, the Thomas and Tran couple that was cut from the show for the sexual assault allegations. So she said that she didn't think that Tran was going to be cut entirely. She said everything Tran said and accused Kinetic of was true. She said during filming, Tran expressed things on camera that everyone saw and said she was uncomfortable and that Thomas, her fiance, was very pushy. She said that Thomas's love language was physical touch, and Tran was still asked to continue to film despite her being uncomfortable. Renne said Tran just let things happen because she's so sweet and she doesn't want to bother anyone. She actually revealed that Tran and Thomas, the one that has the sexual assault allegations, actually moved into an apartment together. I didn't know that they filmed that far. I thought they stopped filming after Mexico, but apparently they moved into an apartment together and still had to film a final scene, even though Tran expressed to production that she did not want to. She said Tran asked multiple times to quit the show and production wouldn't let her quit, but then finally let her quit after she filmed her final scene. I don't know what her final scene was. I don't know how far they got into the filming process, but they did make it to moving into the apartments together. So her final thoughts was that she thinks so much happened on camera with Carter that they decided to cut them too after the lawsuit with Tran and Thomas came to light. They didn't bring up anything about the perfect match or the allegations that she was actually planning on filming the perfect match, even though she was already married. If you want information, more information on that, check out my last video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure Carter is going to be sharing his side of what happened very, very soon. I will look out for that and I will keep you guys posted and recap any interviews or anything he does. Okay, bye.